There are 8 laps remaining in the National 500 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway with Dale Earnhardt firmly in command. If everything hangs together, it's not likely that anybody's going to overhaul him in those 8 laps if he doesn't have any trouble. He works his way up into turn number 3.
Earnhardt just sitting up there all by himself. He's a good 2.5 seconds ahead of Yarborough and Baker at this point, and seems like he's on his way to victory lane.
Earnhardt down across the line. They give the passing flag to some of the lapped automobiles to give him running room as he heads off into turn number 1. And Eli Gold, they were reeling him in a moment ago, but it's just about stabilized right now.
It has stabilized, and of course before there were 3 cars hooked up. Yarborough in second, then Buddy Baker in third, and of course Waltrip, who was running 7th at the time. Now it's just 2 cars trying to chase down Earnhardt, and time is fleeting.
Last year, the National 500, Dale Earnhardt drove to a 10th place finish after starting 8th. It was not his best finish here. He wound up 3rd in the World 600 in 1979, but in the National 500, in 7 appearances at Charlotte Motor Speedway, he's done no better than 10th and has only taken $65,000 out of this place. He will add considerably to that today and will go over the $400,000 mark for the season.
Well, when he moved into the Australian car as a rookie driver last year, he just had a phenomenal year in 1979, and of course this year, the record speaks for itself, what he has accomplished as a driver of that machine in his sophomore year. And in the years past, it seemed like the driver that had won the Rookie of the Year honor seemed to have their second year in competition, all kinds of problems. He kind of laughed and scoffed at that as they started the season out in Riverside, California, that if you had faith in yourself and your crew and your car, he didn't think that would be any jinx on him at all. And he's proven that to be the fact this year for Dale Earnhardt. He's in command right now. 329 laps are on the board as he works his way down the back straightaway. Cale Yarborough riding in second spot, about 2.5 seconds behind him. Buddy Baker is third. They have been unable to chase him down. The crew has done a tremendous job on Earnhardt's car here this week to get it dialed into the racetrack. They may be a little short in the horsepower department, at least some of the crews and the crew chiefs say they are, but what they lack in that, they certainly make up in handling, and as Junior Johnson said, this is a handling racetrack.
Well, it was here at Charlotte Motor Speedway a couple of years ago that Dale Earnhardt first really came to national attention. In the Sportsman race, he drove the Ron Osterlund car. It was sort of a last-minute deal, but it was let's see what you can do, and he really shone in the car, and it led to a ride and Rookie of the Year, and of course, as you said, the rest is history. He has led now 22 of the 28 races this year, so certainly there is no one, perhaps but Buddy Baker, who is more of a foot to the floor, get to the front driver, and keep the car out front driver than Dale Earnhardt.
That is certainly true, and if he can hang it all together, a lot of people say, you know, we listen to your broadcasts all over the country, and they say anything can happen in Winston Cup racing, and a lot of times you guys say a guy's going to win. We're not saying Earnhardt's going to win, but if that car hangs together, it's highly unlikely that anybody's going to chase him down, although Yarborough has made up a little ground on him right now. Looks like he's chopped off about 25 car lengths as they head up to Dave Sutherland.
Yarborough appears to have broken that tight draft. He's been running with Baker for a while and headed out on his own, and he has been cutting the margin down in the last 5 laps or so.
Back to the line, Dale Earnhardt completing 332 laps with 2 laps to go. Heads off into turn number 1 as Cale Yarborough and Buddy Baker try to run him down.
Cale tries to make the move, and of course the scoreboard might be working against him, and everybody talks about Earnhardt. You've got to comment about the fact that with all the fine car and the fine preparation, he has not bobbled at all. He's run so steadily here this afternoon. Once he's been out in front, that is a factor.
Earnhardt still holding on nice and tight here in the 4th turn as he comes through the turn, and Yarborough and Baker are closing in on him. They've about 20 car lengths behind now.
Yarborough has picked up half a second in the last lap. White flag for Dale Earnhardt. Cale Yarborough laps by Kyle Petty. He'll have to deal with Dave Marcus before getting to the checker. He is closing slowly on the leader as they get to 1.
Earnhardt's into turn 1 en route for what would be his first ever Charlotte Motor Speedway victory off number 2 corner. The deficit for Yarborough, 20 car lengths. Earnhardt heads to 3.
Earnhardt looks to be on his way. He slides into the 3rd turn, cuts the turn right down the middle, down to the apron, smoothly through the turn, points his nose down, out of turn 4. And
Buddy Baker's out of control coming into turn number 4. He gets the car back in line and dives onto pit road, and it will be a costly one for Buddy Baker as Dale Earnhardt flashes across to take the checkered flag and win the National 500. Cale Yarborough will finish 2nd. Baker had to come onto pit road to keep from coming back out into race traffic. He will finish 3rd, and Ricky Rudd will finish 4th.
Well, the blue and yellow Mike Curb Austerlin Racing Chevrolet is taking the ride to victory lane, but the last lap was a scary one, Barney, for Buddy Baker.
Well, Buddy Baker was making a last-ditch effort at finishing second. He came up on the outside. There was traffic at the bottom of the racetrack, and he had no place to go. If he was going to try and get around Cale Yarborough, he had no choice but to take the outside groove, and that is awfully, awfully risky, but he felt like it was worth the risk to finish second in the National 500. As he came up, he probably got just a little bit high up in turn number 4, hit some of the loose stuff, the rubber that comes off the tires, and all the other marbles, as we call it, that move up in that high-speed groove coming up into the wall. And at the rear end of the car came around. He did one heck of a piece of driving to keep the car straight in line, and he knew it was going to spin around, so he just steered it right onto pit road and then came back out across the grass. But it was a last-ditch effort on Baker's part to finish second, but it didn't work, and he ended up still in third spot.
Well, the car was undamaged, and the fourth-place car, Ricky Rudd, was still about half a lap back, so Baker's car is now rolled into the garage area and the NASCAR inspection station. 4 cars finish on the lead lap. Earnhardt, the winner, of course. Cale Yarborough second. Buddy Baker third. Ricky Rudd is the fourth-place car, and joining him in victory lane will be his Buck Stove Challenge teammate, Lake Speed, as the Sanyo crew has climbed aboard that machine, and they're headed for victory lane, where Ned Jarrett is standing by.
Well, Earnhardt has pulled in. They're unhooking the safety paraphernalia, but right now let's talk to 20-year-old Doug Reichert, who has done a beautiful job. Doug, congratulations. He's the crew chief on this car.
Thank you, Ned.
Well, that big smile on your face, of course, the people on the radio can't see that to know just how happy you are. You fellas worked awfully hard for this.
Yeah, we did. The car ran awful good. We had excellent pit stops all day, and the motor really ran well. And Dale drove one heck of a race, and things couldn't have went better for us all day.
Doug, the difference seemed to be that last pit stop. You beat them out bad.
Well, that helped there. We beat them out. It was looking kind of grim there a little bit. They had the draft running behind us, was running just a little bit quicker. But we managed to stay ahead and win the race.
Well, here's a young fellow that has certainly a bright future ahead of him. He's already at the top. We'll be getting over to Dale Earnhardt here in just a moment now. They're getting out of the car. He's taking a drink of Coke here in victory lane. I want to say a word to his mother. I'll put her on the spot. Martha, you got to be proud of this boy.
I can't talk. I'm so happy.
Well, I can see that you are. You know, you've seen him come a long way in a short period of time here in 2 years.
I sure have.
Well, that's a happy mother here in victory lane here this afternoon. That's Martha Earnhardt, the mother of Dale. Now we're just about in a position to move over. So much going on here in victory lane with 2 race cars and 2 crews and several television outfits and
we'll
everybody
take it back
else.
here for a minute then, Ned, while you try to get to Dale Earnhardt. The champion spark plug rookie of the race is Lake Speed, who teamed with Dale Earnhardt to win the Buck Stove Challenge, $25,000 in addition to the race purse. The underdog award for the driver that's not won on the circuit this season, that went to Ricky Rudd's fine 4th-place finish. And the Sears Craftsman Pit Crew Championship, well, Doug Richard and the Austerlin Racing Team, they won it all today for Dale Earnhardt.
Well, here's Dale Earnhardt. Dale, very happy fella. Congratulations, man.
Man, I tell you, it just feels good to win here in front of the hometown crowd. I've dreamed and thought about it for a long time, and it's just great.
Dale, could you really feel it going in front of this 70 or 80,000 people here today, knowing so many of them were pulling for you?
Well, yeah, I know I got a lot of hometown fans here, and man, I tell you, it's just, I can't, it's just great. These guys did a good job on the car today. It ran well, and I'd like to thank all the guys that worked on the car, and Union Oil and Goodyear Tire, and all the people, Winston, all the people that helped us. I tell you, it's just super.
Dale, we mentioned to Doug Richard and here's Lake Speed coming up, his partner. Congratulations to you, Lake.
Thank you so very much. I got out early there, and I didn't know I was ever going to be able to keep up. But things the boys worked on the car on the stops, and I can't say enough. The crew got the car working good, and all of a sudden I could run, with just about anybody. Well, Dale, good to have a partner of that sort here. So that makes you $25,000 richer, or as long as so is Lake Speed.
Buck Stove thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, now the congratulations going on between these two fellas here. You didn't know that, huh?
I think we took everything home today, didn't we?
All right, you can just hear the jubilation here in Victory Lane as they congratulate each other, Lake Speed and Dale Earnhardt coming home. Dale didn't even realize he got that extra $50 grand.
Well, actually, it's $25,000 to be split. But even so, an extra $12,500 for your team is quite a piece of money. And he did take it all, Ned. They won between the two of them, they won the Buck Stove Team Challenge. Lake Speed is the rookie of the race. Dale won the Sears Craftsman Pit Crew Championship and also the Leadfoot Award. So about the only thing they didn't get was the Goodies Headache Award. And that leads us to the one special award not yet determined, the Peak Coolest Driver of the race. for the coolest move, either in the pits or in the draft or in the lead or with a problem or in an accident situation. First, let's go to Eli Gold for his pick up in turn 1.
Well, you know, I think I may have to look back to the early portion of the race and maybe even wrap it up with what happened near at the end. Buddy Baker, if you remember, I guess it was back near lap 15 or 20, somewhere really early in the afternoon. He made a remarkable move on the back straightaway at that point, making a bid for the lead, if I'm not mistaken. And, of course, right here at the end, after getting out of shape, Buddy just jumped on the binders, straightened the car out, and finally managed to bring it across the line, holding on to that third spot. So for those combined efforts, I'd say Buddy Baker pulled off the coolest moves driving this afternoon.
How about you, Dave Sutherland, up at turn 4?
Well, we took a vote up here with my spotter, Ken Martin, and I. We decided that Ricky Rudd put a great move on early in the race when there was a lot of traffic and made a move through some what could have been a pretty hairy situation that might have put him out of the race, got down a lot, and then worked his way back up into the 4th spot. So we gave it to him.
Barney?
I think I'll have to go with Baker because he made a couple of real cool moves here today that impressed me. And being the competitor he is, he took a chance going up there, and had it paid off, he could have finished second. But even so, losing the car, getting up in the loose stuff, he was still trying to get around and take that second spot, kept the car under control, and he had to keep his head to dive the car on the pit road because it was coming around had he tried to steer it out of it. So he just went down on pit road, came back out, and still finished third. I'll give it to Baker.
Let's see if Ned is still on the line of Victory Lane.
We're still on the line. Jerry Punch standing by, and he says he wants to vote for Buddy Baker also, and I'll go along with that too. I tell you, he pulled several cool ones there this afternoon, so we're going to Mike, while I have it here, Darrell Derringer is standing by. Congratulations, Darrell, on that finish here today with Lake and the Buck Stove Award.
Thank you, Ned, and I sure hope your son Dale is getting along good, and I'll
right now we're under.
Listen to it. Also, we'd like to say that Lake's mother's here. It's the first time she's ever seen him race. Well, she's up Sweet 8.
All right, she came right through for him. And you mentioned Dale, we appreciate that. We had a report from the hospital for the fans that might be interested that Dale came through his surgery okay today. The doctors were pleased with him, and naturally, I'm pleased with him too.
Now that Dale is, of course, Dale Jarrett, Ned's son, who was injured in a crash here in the Sportsman 300, won yesterday by Dave Marcus. I'll have to concur and make it a consensus pick for Buddy Baker for the Peak Award, $250 for peak antifreeze and coolant. I think perhaps the coolest thing he did, Barney, is not try to